A massive player leap is inbound for this Miami Heat organization, and specifically Andrew Wiggins, as we got brand new reports suggesting that Wiggins has been in the Miami Heat facilities all offseason long, being dedicated and committed to this Miami Heat organization. I'm here to break down all of the brand new reports and how this could result in a breakout year, not only for Andrew Wiggins, but this Miami Heat organization as a whole. I'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but please do remember, if you're a part of the percentage watching this video, not currently subscribed, scroll down and click that subscribe button and help us hit our new goal of 5,000 subscribers. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys, but now let's get to it and break down a breakout inbound for Andrew Wiggins. As brand new reports have suggested, Andrew Wiggins has not left the Miami Heat facilities all offseason long, resulting in a great summer up to this point. Now we have this article that we're going to break down, posted on Heat Nation. If it takes you to, or if you click on the picture, it takes you to the article where we find a bunch of good quotes, including this quote from Greg Sylvander. I apologize for mispronouncing that, but he goes on to say, shared that the one-time All-Star has enjoyed a, quote, great summer with the team. Wiggins has reportedly turned heads with his willingness to spend so much time around the Heat facilities. Quote, also sounds like Andrew Wiggins has had a great summer with the Heat, who have been impressed with how much time he has spent around team facilities, Sylvander wrote via Discord. Now, this is really what you want to hear. There's been a lot of conversation surrounding this Heat organization and what moves they're going to make going forward, or whether or not they're going to maintain the same roster as currently constructed on August 18th now, going into this regular season with Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Tyler Hero, and the rest of this crew. Obviously, Haywood Highsmith was just traded for a second-round pick, which I don't love the idea of, but I can get behind it because there's a lot of stretch 3 and 4s in or on this roster with Wiggins, Powell, before he was traded, Haywood Highsmith, Jovic, Jaime Jaquez Jr. These guys are going to have to play minutes. And with that much talent and that surplus of depth, how are you going to be able to get them all on the floor? Well, someone had to get moved, and Wiggins holds a lot of value. Obviously, a very, very similar version of Haywood Highsmith with just more of an offensive repertoire, if you will, a longer career as well. One that has had very, very, very good years, including 2021, 2022, where not only was Wiggins an all-star, but he won an NBA championship with Golden State, and he also played for Team Canada. It was a really, really good year for him, and it's obviously just a model of consistency. If you look at the entirety of his career from year after year after year, obviously winning the Rookie of the Year in his rookie season out of Kansas, he was a walking highlight reel. The athleticism ever since high school, and if you have not seen it and you are too young to know what I'm talking about, wow, first of all. Second of all, you're making me feel old. Go to YouTube and type in Andrew Wiggins high school tape. I don't care if it's the Hoop Mix tape. I don't care if it's Hoop Diamonds. It doesn't matter. Watch it. It's awesome. Andrew Wiggins was a freak of nature, competing against guys like Jabari Parker, who was arguably one of the top prospects coming out of the NBA draft in the last 20 years, as there was a lot of praise surrounding that young man. But Andrew Wiggins really ended up being the guy out of that draft. And no, he hasn't gone out to be one of the greatest players to ever live. And that's not what I'm arguing. But if you look year after year, a model of consistency, whether or not he's in Minnesota, Golden State, or now Miami, he has been very, very good. He's been very consistent, and he's been available, which is huge for any team that's looking to maintain a starting small forward or someone that could come off the bench and be a good utility guy. Andrew Wiggins can be that depending on the team that he finds himself on. And now with this Miami Heat organization playing next to the collection of talent that is on this roster, he's going to be a damn good player, both on the offense as well as the defensive ends of the floor, creating a lot of shots, not only off the dribble, but again, on the catch and shoot, and the ability to catch and then put the ball on the floor and drive to the basket willingly, get fouled, go to the free throw line and shoot a high percentage, as well as being able to guard not only on the perimeter at a very high level, but once you get into the painted area with the long wingspan as well as the freakish athleticism Andrew Wiggins maintains. Look for this young man to have a legitimate breakout year. And I know, back to the model of consistency thing, I understand that it's going to be really hard to have a breakout year unless he goes out there and averages like 28 to 30 a game because of what we've seen year after year after year. And that's literally not an exaggeration. Like, what the lowest point per game is, 16 as a rookie. Outside of that, we've seen 16 to 18 to 21 to 22, 22, 17, 18. Like, he has been legitimately a model of consistency, which is awesome. And I hope it continues for this Miami Heat organization and Andrew Wiggins. And if you look in the playoffs, yes, last year with the Heat was not great. 11.5, 12 points per game in just 4 games against a very good Boston Celtics team. I understand. But if you look at the years past, that year in 22 when he won the championship with Golden State, as well as the year after in the playoffs, 15, 16, 17 points per game. If you look at the regular season numbers, yes, he's down about a tick, about 1 point in the points per game. The overall numbers, though, relatively the same. And you have to realize the team he's playing for. Like, he was playing on a team with Steph Curry and a bunch of other legitimate guys on that roster. He didn't have to go out there and average 25 a game. He's out there doing exactly what they need of him, being a complimentary guy that's going to give you 16 to 20 every single time he touches the basketball floor. A true model of consistency, and I think he's going to fit in very well with this Miami Heat organization as currently constructed. Obviously, now with Hayward Highsmith in Brooklyn, the Heat did add a draft pick in the second round, which is cool, but you did lose a good player, a defensive-minded guy that could knock down an open shot. Look for players like Jaquez, Andrew Wiggins, Norman Powell, Jovic to really model their role after what we saw from Hayward Highsmith, in the sense of that defensive-minded first, open then on the back end on the offensive side of things, hit down or knock down your open three-point shots that you find yourself taking, as well as being optimistic on the offensive side and trying to really just be more of a complimentary guy than the guy. And that's something that we've seen from this Heat organization for a long time, regardless of the stature of player that is playing on it, outside of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, we all know, because that was just a different version of this Heat team, because, well, they had 3 of the greatest players to ever walk the earth playing on the same roster at the same time for a stretch of years. And I know that is not an exaggeration. LeBron James, the second he retires, the conversation will end. And I am a huge Jordan fan. You can't deny, like, there's not going to be a debate. Like, when he chooses to retire and everyone's like, all right, he's no longer playing, everything's finalized, it's over. The conversation's over. And you can argue some of his best years, some of his best moments came in a Miami Heat jersey. Dwayne Wade, the Flash, is one of the most underappreciated players to ever play, because he's one of the best shooting guards to ever live. Like, that list is Jordan, Kobe, Wade, ... Like, that's really and truly, like, that is how things are shaping out. And yes, he's overlooked because of the new age of basketball and James Harden and all these new guys that are just stat padding. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean the fact that they can literally go out there and produce a triple-double for seasons at a time. I understand that overlooks the just recent history of basketball, the last 20 years, but when it comes down to it, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, again, another unsung hero for his tenure in Toronto, as well as his tenure in Miami, obviously. He was an elite player, and it was cut short, obviously, due to injuries and the blood clots he was dealing with. The idea is the same. This Miami Heat organization runs a certain way, and they aren't surrounded with players. They're surrounded with a bunch of guys that are going to play as a team, and it is a team-oriented game of basketball. Yes, some games someone gets hot, and that happens, and someone's going to take 15 threes. Tyler Hero, obviously, like, that happens. But because they are hot and they are finding a rhythm. Outside of that, the vast majority of the 82 games played in that regular season are going to be team-oriented, defensive-minded first basketball. And Andrew Wiggins, based off the summer he has had, it looks like we're going to get another very productive year from him, this time entirely in a Miami Heat jersey. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your expectations down below for Andrew Wiggins for this up-and-coming season. I will see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.